welcome to yet again another video from your Woman magazine, and this video is fire, I promise you. Now always it has been thought of to say women are usually just reserving themselves from doing certain things or just staying away from making themselves be in the spotlight and doing these extraordinary, amazing things that they should be doing rather. And today we have a woman with us who is doing just that, breaking barriers and setting new records to be broken and doing many more amazing things. Today I am really excited. We have with us Ms Christine Musole, and she is just going to break it down for us. What is it about her, what she does, and everything concerning her. So once again, welcome to your Woman magazine.
Thank you very much for having me.
I am really excited you came through, and I know we are going to learn so much. This is like a whole package.
I'm super excited to be here. Trust me, I've been looking forward to this interview. I've been telling people about the Woman magazine. I'm like, if you have not heard about it and if you have not subscribed, please just go on YouTube, subscribe, because there's a lot more that is coming our way.
Yeah. So you have heard it. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber, please tell your friends to tell their friends, and let's get talking. So Ms Christine, could you please just give us a little intro about who you really are, the stuff you do, and everything you're involved in?
Great. So my full name again is Christine Nawa Musole. I was born in the western part of Zambia, born in the western province, Mongo to be specific. And so I have been there from like birth up until university, and that is when I started hustling here and there. So I completed my tertiary education in the year 2018 at an institution called the University of Barotseland. I did a degree in secondary education or secondary teaching. And so when I was done, I asked myself a question to say, have I really wanted to be a teacher? Because I've been raised by a single parent, a woman, talking about women.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I lost my father when I was only a month old. So I was born in March and he died in April. So being raised by a single parent, I looked at the struggles and the hardships that the other women are going through, especially in Western Province, and also looking at the fact that Western Province is the one which is the highest in terms of poverty levels, which are going at 82.2%, the highest in the country. And so when I looked at Mongo at large, and I was like, someone has to speak for Mongo. So I told myself, do I really want to be a teacher? So after doing my tertiary learning, I started teaching in 1 or 2 private schools. And just after that, I asked myself, do I really want to do this? And my response was no. So that was how I just got into active politics.
Awesome.
So that is part of the things that I do. I am an active politician. I'm a gender activist as well as a child rights activist.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, all those accolades. And this is just the beginning, you guys. It gets even better. So what you've mentioned, I think it goes back to looking at what your purpose really is in life. I think women usually just stick to the things they're doing right now because that is what is available. But like you did, you had an introspection, you saw, is this what I want to do, or do I want to carry my heart out with something else? And you pursued that, and it's amazing, and you're setting a very good example, because I mean, you could be a very good secondary school teacher, but your heart is not in that, and that's why you've diverted to the other things. So with active politics, what was your start?
Okay, so with active politics, my first start was to see or to look into the active political parties that are in Zambia. I asked myself, which one can I align myself with? Which one has got the values that I believe in? Which one has got an ideology? Because I wouldn't just want to find myself in a political party that doesn't look like it doesn't have a direction. So I asked myself, okay, so which one among the political parties? And I identified one. So I had to join that one. So I needed not just to join and be part and parcel of the youth league, because by then I was only 22 years old. So I asked myself, okay, so do I just want to be in the background or what? But then something crossed my mind and I said, sometimes when you want to fight for change, you've got to be in the forefront. Because if you are just going to be like backstage, maybe people are not really going to see what you are saying.
Yes,
maybe
yes.
people are not going to understand like what change do you really want to bring out. So I said, I want to be on the forefront.
Yes.
And by the grace of God, in the year 2020, I was adopted for the parliamentary seat, Mongo Central constituency. So one thing that stood out for that adoption was that I was the youngest candidate to be like adopted at that particular time, and I was also adopted like 11 to 12 months right before the election.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my start. I didn't just want to be in the background. I needed to be right at the front.
Yes.
Because I do believe that there is no person that can fight for women's rights than a woman.
Yes.
A man can only fight for their rights, but only to a certain extent. It is a woman that would understand. And there is no other person that can fight for the rights of young people except a young person. So I needed to be at the front.
And the most amazing thing about this is you integrated both being female and being young to stand out at the forefront of what you believed in. So besides politics, what else do you do?
Okay, so besides politics, I'm a singer. I do sing, I record music, gospel music. I started with secular, but then there was a huge contradiction.
Okay.
I would record secular music in a studio and probably perform it, but I've never performed like in a nightclub, maybe at family shows.
Yes.
Because I started recording when I was still in my 10th grade.
Okay.
So my parents couldn't allow me to perform in nightclubs and all that.
Yes.
My conscience too couldn't allow me. So I just started performing, at family shows and all that. So after I realized that on Saturdays mainly, I would perform maybe on a stage, secular music, and people are drinking, they're smoking and they're dancing. And then on Sunday, I have to stand again in front at the altar to minister worship. And I was like, this is a total contradiction, because how do I perform, to two different circles? And then I sat down, and my mother also sat down with me and told me, Christy, you've got to choose. What kind of music really do you want to do? Yes. And it was at that moment when I said, I think let me just switch, because it doesn't make sense singing.
Cutting yourself into.
Exactly. So that is how I started doing gospel music. So apart from politics, I'm also a singer.
Awesome. Wow. So I can see the active force that your mother has on you. She's one person that has raised you, somebody you look up to, and also somebody that really just comes to you to sort of give you direction and help you mold whatever it is you want yourself to be into. And that's the force that women have. Women are nurturers, women are caregivers, women are builders. And as a woman magazine, we embrace womanhood in all different forms that it comes in. And mothers are at the top because we all come from mothers, and mothers come from mothers. So we really should embrace our womanhood, look up to our elderly people, our mothers, learn from them. They may not have gone to school or have the fanciest degrees or whatnot, but the knowledge and wisdom they impact on us is long lasting, and it gives us direction in our lives. As you can see with Ms Christine, her mother is really like her second God, because the mother is always there for her and giving her all these steps she should take. So Ms Christine, my last questions would revolve around the youth. And even this would go for me as well. I may be wanting to start something, but because I look at myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm female, I'm a woman, I can't do that. As a fellow woman and young person, what is the advice you could give to somebody in that position?
Cool. So I would love to mention that even in my political journey, some of the criticism that I faced, especially in Mongo Central, especially in the rural areas, not necessarily in the urban areas, but the rural areas, they could mention things like, no, a young person is not supposed to lead. They will say, you do not have experience, so you cannot lead. Therefore, you cannot be a member of parliament because you are young. Some other people would come and say, you are female, so you can't lead. They're even going to quote scriptures and say, the Bible says the man is the head of the house and not the woman. You know, so you'd always face all those criticisms. But at the same time, you'd have people that are going to tell you to say, even the freedom fighters that we are celebrating today, the people that fought for Zambia's independence, the people like Kenneth Kaunda, you know, and the rest, the Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe and the rest of the freedom fighters, they started when they were young. Yes. Some of them became members of parliament at the age of 19, some of them at the age of 21. By then I was 22. So I was asking myself, okay, so which route now should I take? You know, and so someone had to make me understand and also to believe, to say, yes, a young person can lead, but of course relying on the wisdom of the elderly. Yes. So instead of you just leading aimlessly, you need to ask those ones that have been like in the political field, you know, for a long time, to say, which route should I take? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? You know, so on and so forth. And I say, this is the direction I'm taking. I'm not going to rely on my knowledge or wisdom alone, because I do believe personally to say what an elderly person can see while sitting on the mat, even if a young one can climb a tree, they will never see it. So I say, let me rely on these ones that can see, you know, even when they are sitting, because even if I climb a tree, I'm not going to see it. So my encouragement to the young people out there is that believe in yourself. Okay. The first thing is, if you believe in yourself, then it simply means the rest of the people are going to believe in you as well. If you do not believe in yourself, it is very difficult for people also to believe in you. And the other thing is that in as much as you want to start up something new, consult from those ones that have been there. And it doesn't mean that you need to take each and every advice that you're going to be given, but you just need, you know, like to choose which one can work for me and which one doesn't work out for me. So believe in yourself. Do what you believe that you can do, because one thing for sure is that the future is not built in the future. That element of saying, no, I'm going to do this tomorrow, or I'm the future leader, like some people always tell us, no, the young people are the future leaders, you know, or they are the leaders of tomorrow. I don't believe in that. Yes. Because the future is not built in the future, but it is built on the threshold of what you do today. You are not going to wait for the future to come, then you do what you want to do. You need to lay a foundation. Yes. And that foundation can only be laid now, like today. Awesome.
I really needed a book. I needed to jot down everything, but luckily we have this video and I'll keep making reference to it. You know, Ms Christine has said so much, and the basic factor I have gotten for myself is take a step at a time. Don't do too much at once, because you lose your direction. And speaking of direction, we have the elderly people that have done it before, people have been in the situation you're in. You can draw wisdom from them and use positive criticism. Don't listen to what everybody is saying. You know, some people want to dim your light. So go to those things that embrace your positivity and are for your growth. So my last question, what are your future plans for, let's say, this year and next year?
Great. So for this year, what I want to do is to learn as much as I can learn. One other thing is that I do not believe in just having one area of like maybe concentration and say, I am just good in this area. I want to try out like new ventures, especially to do with skills, because I've come to realize that the more the young people as well as the women keep relying on the government to provide jobs for them, that is not going to happen, because the government cannot provide jobs for everyone. So the question is, what is it that you can do using your hands? How can you put money in your pocket using your hands? Currently, I can say the only way that I'm able to sustain myself is through my voice. You know, through singing, of course, through making radio adverts, through making television adverts. That is what I do to put money in my pocket and also to sustain myself and my family. So I want to venture into other, you know, like trainings in terms of skills. What is it that I can do using my hands? So one thing that I have realized is that I have so much, or let me say, keen interest in designing. So I would draw an outfit, but I do not know how to sew it using a machine. Yes. So I will have to look for a tailor somewhere to say, okay, this is the pattern that I want, this is how I want it to go, so please can you do this for me? But then I'm asking myself, okay, so why can't I do this? So I want to do that.
Awesome.
I want to do designing, I want to do tailoring and all that, so that even if I'm having, you know, like some spare time, I can still have a machine in my house and begin to do all those things. And that is an encouragement to the rest of the viewers that are watching us right now.
Beautiful outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
I love the design of your dress. It's so beautiful. And there you have it, you guys. There's so much to say and making reference to so many things. So her plans revolve around learning, and I was told if you don't learn, you don't grow. Like you remain at the same position, and that's stagnancy. So whatever it is, no matter how little it might look, please get into it. Like personally, I want to learn new languages because I'm limited to just my Chinyanja and English. I want to learn a little bit of Bemba, Lozi, Tonga, and just get to interact with people. And I'm taking that on this year, and you shall see the results because you guys stay with me always. So, Ms Christine, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for blessing us.
Let me just mention something.
Sure.
I love your keen interest in learning other languages. I have a certain experience that I feel so much ashamed of because earlier this year in January, I was invited to the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, to go and talk into the issues of resolving conflict or resolving political conflict. And one thing was that the moment I got there, they needed to look for an interpreter for me because that is more like a French-speaking, you know, country.
Yes.
So my disappointment comes in where I'm asking myself, okay, so I am an African and I cannot talk to my fellow Africans because I do not know their language. Yeah, in as much as it can be a colonizer language in terms of French, but I can also learn, you know, like Swahili, like what is the other local language that they can speak. And I told myself the next time I'm invited to the DRC, I will not need an interpreter. So we are both going to that language class, of course, or something.
Awesome. Yeah. I really look forward to learning with you from you as well. So there you have it, you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Ms Christine, thank you for coming, and please keep on impacting us. We are learning so much from you, and many more people are learning from you, and you're just leading by example. Really, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please invite your friends to like, subscribe, and also to share. And let's remember to spread the love and be positive. I'm sending you positivity, I'm sending you good vibes, and I'm sending you so much love. So thank you.